All right, guys, it's out. $908 billion stimulus package finally revealed to us. Plus, I've got a $1,200 second stimulus check update for you guys. What's going on, you guys? It's Ron here with your second stimulus check update and stimulus package update. I hope you guys are doing very well today on this Tuesday, December 15th stimulus check update. Man, guys, I'm so excited to share with you guys the action-packed news today as things are really speeding up here on Capitol Hill. Finally these days, right? You've got the Problem Solvers Caucus. They have just released the details on their two-part $908 billion stimulus package, which we will break down for all of you guys so that you fully understand what the heck is going on here, right? Including the possibility of the $1,200 stimulus check being in there. States and cities also can't wait any longer as they keep announcing new assistance programs for all of you guys. So I can't wait to share those as well. So for today, I've got 3 programs I found for you guys. I'm going to be sharing the details on all of those financial assistance programs for you guys. It might be stimulus checks, it might be rental assistance, but I will definitely share those details with you guys later on this video, so definitely stick around until the very end so that you get all of this valuable information. But first, I want to say welcome back to all my subscribers. I really appreciate you guys, and for those of you who are brand new to the channel, my name is Ron. We cover all things personal finance, investing, how to generate multiple streams of income, and of course, stimulus check updates and stimulus package updates. So if you have not already, definitely subscribe to the channel and tap the notification bell so that you know as soon as I release new videos and content. And it's the holiday season already, you guys. So if you haven't already, you should definitely hit the link in the description down below so that you can check out my free financial freedom movie where I share all my credit hacks, credit secrets, investing strategies, and tips so that you can actually be able to retire early and achieve being debt free. So definitely check out that link in the description down below. But anyway, guys, let's jump into the content. All right, guys, so first off, let's get started with the hottest update of the day, which are the details of this bipartisan virus relief bill where, they finally revealed it by the Problem Solvers Caucus just last night. Yep, the Problem Solvers Caucus finally revealed this bill, right? So you've got this bipartisan group that's composed of 25 Republicans and 25 Democrats from the House of Representatives, and they finally introduced the $908 billion virus relief package that will hopefully bridge the gap between, the long-standing disagreement between the two different parties. You got the Democrats, you got the Republicans. The idea here is that, they put this bill together, that way they can kind of meet in the middle. And essentially they do this by splitting the package into 2 separate bills. So you've got the $738 billion bipartisan emergency COVID relief act of 2020, which includes funding for the enhanced unemployment insurance benefits, another round of small business loans. You've also got the emergency food assistance and emergency rental relief, among many other provisions in there. Meanwhile, the $160 billion bipartisan state and local support, as well as Small Business Protection Act of 2020, provides the liability insurance for businesses, as well as funding for state and local governments. So you've pretty much got both Nancy Pelosi and Mitch Mcconnell satisfied with that bill, right? And then the latter being the bill that actually contains the 2 main points of contention between the Democrats and the Republicans, and the former bill, which is the bill that everyone pretty much agrees on and supports. Now let's look at the details of the first package now. So first off, for unemployment, you've got the bipartisan bill, which would actually extend all unemployment insurance benefits for 16 weeks. So that's 4 months, you guys. So that's actually pretty good. Hopefully including the pandemic unemployment insurance as well, or at least the PEUC program, which extended unemployment insurance benefits to gig workers and freelancers who don't normally qualify for the traditional standard unemployment insurance benefits. That was really helpful for that pocket of people. So hopefully they will throw that in there as well. And the Pandemic Emergency Unemployment Compensation, also known as the PEUC program, that also provides an additional 13 weeks of unemployment insurance to those who have exhausted their state's benefits. So it also boosts the federal benefits of $300 per week. So basically that's an additional $1,200 per month for 4 months. So that could definitely be very helpful for a lot of people right now. And in fact, it's been estimated that nearly 12 million people who will lose their unemployment benefits the day after Christmas when the 2 programs expire. So this will be very, very helpful for a number of people. And it's incredibly sad if you think about it. I mean, literally the day after Christmas, your unemployment insurance benefits, literally your income goes away. So this is going to be very good news for a lot of people. $300 billion will go to the Small Business Administration for another round of the PPP for small businesses. The PPP is the Paycheck Protection Program. So at least small businesses are also taken care of. And of course, the reason why that's so important is The PPP helps the businesses that are still open keep their employees on the payroll, so, kind of hopefully reduces the number of layoffs. And as for housing, the bill will also extend the eviction moratorium until January 2021, when we can assume by then, get it, President Joe Biden could extend the moratorium through his executive powers, similar to what President Donald Trump did back in the summer this year. And then there's also the $25 billion for emergency rental assistance, which could mean anywhere between $2,000 to $3,000 for rent for those who really need it. So that's already bigger than the stimulus checks that we've had so far. I hope you guys are getting excited about that. I mean, that's literally like cash. And then for food assistance, the bipartisan bill provides $13 billion for increased SNAP assistance and funding for food banks as well as pantries. Not to mention there's another $13 billion that will become funding for pandemic hit farmers, ranchers, growers, and fisheries. And then there's the extension of the student loan forbearance program, meaning that these student loan debts will actually be frozen without accruing any interest until April 1st, 2021. All right, so let's talk about the second part of the package. So the second part of the package is called the Bipartisan State and Local Support and Small Business Protection Act of 2020. Now, I don't know why they didn't come up with a really cool acronym for that one, because that's just way too long. But anyway, this details the $160 billion to be allocated for state, local, and tribal assistance, as well as liability protection for businesses, which have actually been hot button topics for the Democrats and Republicans all this time. Now, the money for local and state governments will be determined by states' proportion to the U.S. population and the proportion of each state's losses compared to those of others. And they also detail the 3 stages that this money will actually come to us in and extend the expiration of the CARES Act money until December 31st, 2020 next year. So that's awesome news. And as far as the liability protection is concerned, the big part is establishing nationwide standards for gross negligence to make it much clearer for businesses everywhere, what's expected of them when it comes to protecting their customers and their employees from this virus. And I think that's going to help out quite a bit because, as far as the concerns that Mitch MCConnell had for, providing the protection for corporations and businesses from being able to be sued regarding this virus, a lot of that comes from the fact that there was a lot of ambiguity. Essentially, it's kind of like, it's very difficult to defend yourself against something that's just so broad. And so if they're clarifying themselves in terms of, hey, what is a business expected to do, then it makes it a lot easier for businesses to actually be able to comply and say, hey, we've checked all the boxes, we're protecting our customers, we're protecting our employees. And, so number one, that should reduce the number of lawsuits. And, number two, that should actually reduce the amount of money required to be able to kind of, combat that as well. So I'm pretty sure you guys have noticed that there was no mention of a stimulus check in there, right? Now, this is really where it gets interesting, you guys. So we know that they're sure to pass the year-end government spending bill to avoid a government shutdown by the end of the week. And they've also established the fact that they want to get the stimulus package out there before the end of the year along with this. And all sides and leaders have said something or two along these lines these past few days and weeks. And at the same time, we've heard lawmakers giving an ultimatum of $1,200 stimulus checks or bust. And among them is Bernie Sanders, who just tweeted, "As a result of the pandemic, tens of millions of Americans are facing economic desperation. They can't afford to pay their rent and face eviction. They can't afford to go to the doctor. They can't afford to feed their children, and they are going deeper and deeper into debt. Congress cannot go home for the Christmas holidays until we pass legislation which provides a $1,200 direct payment to working class adults, $2,400 for couples, and a $500 payment to their children." This is what the Democrats and Republicans did unanimously in March through the CARES Act. This is what we have to do today. So if you ask me, we can definitely still see the stimulus checks coming one or two ways. Now, the first is Senator Sanders and Hawley authored amendment, which is the Emergency Direct Payments for Families and Workers Act that can be attached to the existing bills we have that will provide $1,200 stimulus checks plus $500 for any child dependent. And the second is the Hawley authored standalone bill, which was introduced just last week, that drops all other parts of the bigger stimulus package and just really hands out those direct stimulus checks because, come on, which politician is really going to say no to helping their constituents in such a simple, direct way? There's no frills, there's no thrills in this bill. It's literally just the stimulus check in the standalone bill. Now, as the Problem Solvers Caucus has mentioned, the bill that they've introduced is really just a starting point for negotiations, as ultimately they still need the leadership. And what that means is we need House Speaker Nancy Pelosi or Senate Majority Leader Mitch MCConnell to really throw their full support behind it and take the bill as their own. And then there's also President-elect Joe Biden coming in, and based on previous experiences, we can definitely expect to see stimulus coming in with him. And if you guys remember, what usually happens when a president comes in is their priorities get done, regardless of opposition from the other party. I mean, let's think back for a second. When President Trump came in, he got his border wall done, even though amidst the strong opposition from the Democrats, it still got done. What they do is basically they make great deals, put pressure on the other party, and basically they just get it done. So we can certainly expect the exact same from President-elect Joe Biden with his top 3 priorities, which is stimulus checks for the American people, raising Social Security for not only SSI as well as SSDI recipients for $200 per month, and student loan forgiveness. And of course, I got you guys. So as soon as that information comes out, I will definitely drop a video on that. So be sure to subscribe and tap the notification bell so that you know as soon as I release that update. So all right, guys, we got states, we got cities, we got local governments, counties. They're literally trying to dump this cash, and I'm looking left and right always for you guys. What are these local programs that, kind of hiding, under the cracks in the crevices and so forth. So I've got a couple of updates for you guys from states and cities. So here goes. So first up, I've got very good news for business owners in California. You've got Governor Gavin Newsom. He recently announced that California will provide temporary tax relief for eligible businesses that were impacted by virus restrictions. This temporary tax relief entails an automatic 3-month income tax extensions for taxpayers filing less than $1 million in sales. It also extends the existing interest and penalty-free payment agreements to companies with up to $5 million in taxable sales, as well as it provides expanded interest-free payment options for those larger businesses that were affected by the virus restriction. There's also help for businesses available in New York City. You can also get an interest-free loan of up to $100,000 through the New York City LMI, also known as the Low to Moderate Income Storefront Loan. Now, this loan is available to storefront businesses that are located in low to moderate income areas of New York City to help them restart or essentially continue operations after experiencing challenges from the pandemic. And I definitely think that New York needs a lot of this assistance because they pretty much completely shut down. And I've got even more good news. This time, this is for our viewers in Orlando, Florida. The Orlando City Council just last week approved the addition of nearly $1 million to its CARES rental assistance program. And they've also increased the maximum amount of rental assistance that's allowed per household from, get this, $10,000 to $12,500. That's easily 10 times the amount of any stimulus check that we've heard about so far. But of course, you gotta act fast, guys, because basically you have to complete their pre-screening process before the end of today in order to be considered for it. So of course, I'll drop some details in the description down below. And of course, it's first come, first serve on this, so you definitely don't wanna waste time. And now for those of you guys who haven't already subscribed or you haven't clicked the notification bell and you have not heard about my previous mentions about states and local governments offering financial assistance, aside from that, I also want to recap some of the states and local programs that I've shared in my previous videos for you guys. So you've got programs going on in New Mexico, you've got Rhode Island, you've got Maine, Maryland, Washington, D.C., Nevada, you've got Orange County, Florida, Connecticut, Delaware, Houston, Daytona Beach, Florida, Minnesota, and Colorado. So if you're from any of those places or you have family or friends that live in any of those places, definitely check out the previous videos where I discussed these different programs from those different states. And also you'll find information in the detailed description of those videos. More and more states and local governments have been announcing stimulus to their residents, and I found pretty much most of these with the help of you guys dropping comments on the videos, letting me know about, the different, local, city, county, state level programs that are available. So I just want to say thank you very much. We've got a very cool, very helpful and tight-knit community. So if you guys can keep sharing those opportunities in the comments, it really helps me to be able to share this information with everyone else. And of course, if you're looking for, financial assistance, whether it be, mortgage, rental assistance, maybe local stimulus checks, perhaps utilities, food, you would be surprised what you find in the comments down below. So I just want to say thank you guys for dropping those helpful comments. And if you're looking for assistance, you can also take a look at the comments down below. So anyway, guys, that's all for the stimulus check update and stimulus package update. You've got the Problem Solvers Caucus who have just released the details of their 2-part $908 billion stimulus package, which we broke down for you guys. And also it includes the possibility of the $1,200 stimulus check in there. Not to mention the 3 programs that I just found for you guys. So, if you haven't already, definitely subscribe to the channel and definitely tap that notification bell so that you know as soon as I release new videos and content. And be sure to check out the comment below. It's a pinned comment where I share the link to my free financial freedom movie if you want to enhance your learning on anything from credit, investing, money management, and becoming debt-free. Can you imagine waking up tomorrow and literally being debt-free and owing no one? Well, I teach exactly how to accomplish all of these things in my financial freedom program. So definitely take a look at the link in the pinned comment down below. But otherwise, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.